welcome back to Y&R For Life, where we talk about all things Y&R related. We talk about what's going on, my predictions, what I think's going to happen. Hey, we even talk about fashion on the show because I'm a big time fashion girl, so we got to spill the tea about that from time to time. If you're new to this channel, my question is, what took you so long to get here? And if you are returning, what's up? Long time no see. And yes, I know I did not put a video last week. Here's the reason. Both my son and my daughter, they just turned 8 and 9, and I had a party for them. I was so wiped out, like I could not function. So I know a lot happened last week, and dare I say, I probably could have missed this week, and because to me, it just didn't have as much pizzazz as the previous week. But, we'll get into it and we'll do the best that we can and get through it. Couple of disclaimers. If you don't want to know what's going on, you kind of want to get caught up on your own, this might not be what you want to see or hear, but I am so grateful that you are here. And if you like this type of content, you like what you see, you like what you hear, hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. Try and do it every Sunday. However, like last week, things happened and I was totally taken out. Imagine like a little kid's party, like how much effort goes into it. Whew. I was exhausted. So my apologies, but I hope you're caught up and we will do the best that we can, as I said. And lastly, if I happen to not mention something, it could be because I plumb forgot or it just wasn't newsworthy. And I recall 2 weeks ago, there was something that I wanted to talk about, and I will briefly talk about it here once we get into it. Okay, so here we go. Okay, 2 weeks ago, what I forgot to mention was Tracy Abbott and Dr. Allen. Woo! Tracy, she finally has a love interest again. And Dr. Allen, I saw this coming, but because he looked a little sweet on her. But wouldn't it be something if, what was the twins' name? Like he was just Martin. He was in and out. What if he didn't die and it was Dr. Allen? And then Martin is, ooh, what a mess that would be. But let's just hope that it's Dr. Allen and that he's not up to anything nefarious, and that, hopefully Tracy can really have that love interest that has been needed since Steve be gone. Hopefully she goes somewhere with this. So bravo, Tracy. Bravo, Dr. Allen. Hopefully you're on the up and up, and continue to give her like a scarf here and there. And yeah, the fact that Danny and Cricket were on 2 weeks ago, oh, I thought they were like done for. Like I said, I heard that they were going to Bold and Beautiful for like a hot minute. I didn't want to see them acting all cutesy wootsy. No, it would have been nice if Tracy actually had gone up on stage and sang a little ditty, but that's besides the point. All right, so that was what I forgot to mention. Alrighty, so last week, I'm gonna say the key highlight really was the fact that Adam and Chelsea, again, my prediction came through, that they went hot and heavy. Like, I'm telling you, that scene between the two of them, that was a piece of fireworks that went on. Like, they were totally hot and heavy in the bed. Now, here's where I kind of go, Sally, my former good pal, because we had a good thing going on. Again, in real life, we share the same birthday, like everything. Sally, let me just backtrack. You did Nick dirty. You did him so dirty. And not that I believe a tit for tat, but you see what happens? You see? And I know that your brain is going like tick, 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 much like Billy's is. And they know that something's up because since both of them did their little montage of the telephone of, I can't wait to see you. I should come back to Genoa City, blah blah blah. If they couldn't be any more guilty, I don't know what. So now that they're back in Genoa City, they're tippy-toeing around like everything and looking guilty as I don't know what. But that's Chelsea and that's Adam. I dare say Chelsea is sweating up a storm and Adam he just plain looks guilty. Just saying. Alrighty. Okay, so on to this week. I'm just going to give you some highlights because this week to me was a little womp womp womp. But I'm wearing my bossed up shirt that I made because weren't we like in a whole cesspool of like bosses? We had Victor, boss number 1, Jack, boss number 2, Kyle, who is now boss number 3 or 4, Audra. You had Nate and Devon and Lily and Billy. Like it was like boss central, even Summer. Okay, so who should we talk about first? Okay, let's get the whole Summer and Kyle craziness out the way because it is straight up crazy. Okay, so basically the highlight of that is the fact that, as you may or may not know, Kyle wants to move out of the Abbott mansion and he wants to find a place of his own for him and little Harrison. Well, Summer learns of this from Diane because she can't keep her mouth quiet. And Summer is like, pardon? What do you mean he's moving out? Like, what? So Summer, she just goes over and she just like, what are you thinking of? Like, what? I mean, Summer, why are you talking to Kyle like he's like some little boy? Like, sure, he's a bit of a hothead. He's got a chip on his shoulder right now because we're back to this whole Battle of Jabot, now Battle of Glissade, blah, blah, blah. However, why are you talking to him like this? Oh, you're making poor choices. As if you haven't made poor choices yourself. And how is it a poor choice for him to leave the house and find a place of his own with his son? Again, his biological son. Remember this. Why? Because at some point in time, when she questions him about his judgment about leaving and how could you do this and how dare you do this and you're taking our son away from his grandparents and his aunts and uncles, and she just went off. And he's like, eventually he's like, why are you talking to me like this? And then he's like, look, you basically want to make this a battle? Here's where it comes in. Go ahead, bring it. And she's like, and he's like, you can take me to court, but you will lose. Why? Because you're not even his biological mother. insert Tara, who, from what the murmurings I'm hearing is that she may make her appearance. Who wouldn't that be something? Like, I never liked Tara, but bring her back so we can chop Summer's attitude right on down. Way down. Okay, so she was like, and he's like, yeah. So, of course, she's offended because, really, in theory, she's the only mother that Harrison probably even recalls. He probably doesn't even recall Tara. You know, back when Harrison was a blonde. Oh boy. Anyway, and this little Harrison's growing on me a little bit. I still like the other one, but this one's growing on me a little bit. He's very intelligent and intuitive and that kind of stuff. And he has a good thing going on with Claire. Okay. So Summer is going around, like, for anybody who would listen to her, because last week she had a conversation with Phyllis and Nick, and they're like, yeah, baby girl, Supergirl, you probably don't really have a leg to stand on, and you probably really don't want to get involved with this, like, a court battle, because, like, been there, done that, it's not fun. And she's like, what are you taking his side? That was last week. And so now Summer is still, like, going on about this because Kyle ended up saying that he had a conversation with Daniel. And she's like, what? You had a conversation with my brother about me? What? So, of course, she storms and she went to Daniel and just went off on him. Like, how could you do this to me, brother? Like, how could you, say anything about me to Kyle? Like, what? And this makes me look bad. And I guess he didn't tell you that he's, like, going to buy a place and for little Harrison to move into and uproot him. And he's like, no, he didn't tell me that. Well, now Summer has the bright idea that she's going to move out of the hotel, which I don't know why she was staying there for so long in the first place. However, she was. So she's going to buy a place of her own so little Harrison can have his own room and decorate it the way he wants, just like Kyle said he can decorate his room the way he wants. Okay, so little Harrison is like, wee! Now, Summer, why'd you take little Harrison aside, to have a little convo with him, with, like, grown folk stuff? That wasn't cool. Like, you're trying to get intel from a little child. Yeah, I didn't like that. Okay, now this is after Claire had already played, like, Miss Mary Mack with little Harrison, and they had their own little secret. I guess it was like a goodbye or handshake type, twirl around, whatever. Yeah. Summer, I don't know how well this is going to fare for you, but we shall see. All right. So we did see Kyle with Audra, and they, at some point in time, had a big conversation with Victor in the public park. Once again, why did they have these conversations in public? I don't know. And basically, Victor said, the suites are available for you. Take a look. Go get the keys and go take a look. Da 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 da. And so he ushers Kyle away, and he wants to speak with Audra by herself. Side note, Audra's, I believe it was a skirt, black pleated with, like, cream at the bottom. Yeah. That was, I don't think it was a dress, but whatever it was, like, that looked good. Stylist, whoever, whatever you're doing with Audra's character and the styling, bravo, bravo. And her bag, which of course had nothing in it, I liked it. Very businesslike. I liked it. So, I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. Okay, so Audra and Victor have a conversation once again in the public park about how Kyle is like, yeah, he basically said that we don't really need two CEOs, and you know, we don't need Audra. So Audra's like, he basically said that. He's like, yeah, he said this. What do we need Audra for? And so all I'm going to tell you is to watch your back and what have you. And Audra is trying to, keep it together. She's trying to hold it down, but she knows that she is, she's kind of like coasting on the bottom of the barrel. She's almost, to me, she is dispensable. Why? Because Victor got her to do what he wanted her to do, where Tucker was concerned. And wah, 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 I'm so sad that Tucker is not on the show. I don't see him. And they basically made mention that he's not an issue anymore. I'm assuming that means he's no longer on the show. So where am I going to get my comic relief from now? Do I have to I can't even rely on Billy Boy. He is a whole other set of mess. All right. So Audra ends up, again, I'm just kind of putting it into a nice little ball. She ends up meeting up with Nate a couple of times during the week, and basically she's having her, a little moment, if you will, where she's talking about how she's already, under attack, and the fact that, glissade is about women. And I feel like, did I mention this 2 weeks ago? I feel like I did, but let me reiterate if I did say it, or let this be the first time I'm saying it. I feel like the show has been taking this whole PSA, like public service announcements, like every opportunity they get. I don't know why they're doing this, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but it seems like almost every storyline has to do with some sort of public service announcement. We've got Connor concerning the OCD. We had Ashley concerning the DID. We have Sharon now, where I don't even know what it is, but she is like living in the past, man. And Audra is now like weepy over like almost like women empowerment. I can't keep track of it. I could be missing something, but it's just been like a whole smorgasbord of public service announcements. So back to Audra, she's feeling a ways, and she's like, a man can do this. They can have like focus groups, but they're not, wearing the lipstick and the foundations and the Audra. I don't know. I don't know. Do you want it to be an all women's company? Like, what's the deal here? I'm confused. Yes, that may be true to a certain degree. However, just run the company. And she's well, who knew? Like, the bottle sizes have to be smaller, and if not, we have to put the cost onto the consumer. Yeah, no joke. Anything. Like, this is a complete side note, but I'm in Canada, and the Costco, which I'm sure the same thing happened in the US at least, The toilet paper used to have like 400 and something sheets on a roll, and people figured out, because it was right there, they eventually figured out that they were taking it down to 300 and something sheets per roll. And the cost was, I think, the same or even like a dollar or two more. That's what it is, Audra. Like, that's how business works. We may not like it, but boss up. Like, even to the point where they were like in the park, again, the public park, watching the sunset, and she's like, "Oh, look at the sunset. There's a shade of purple. I need that shade of purple." Okay, Audra, you got me there. I'm a purple girl, but tis what it is. Moving right along, at some point in time during the ending of the week, like I suspected, her and Nate got together, hot and heavy. And she was like, I just don't want there to be any confusion. This is just for fun, right? Because if you expect anything more than like, he's like, no, as long as we're on the same page, da 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 da. He's already done falling for her. I mean, Nate, take off your jacket, let her walk across the water, like on top of your jacket. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but she ain't feeling you like that because she's all about business. So, Nate, whatever. You're probably going to get your heart broken, and so be it. All right, so I think that's pretty much enough of, because we segued from Summer and Kyle to Audra and Victor. And Victor is still trying to, recruit Adam to be a head of Newman Media. And he's like, looky here, Daddy-O, I'm not doing anything until you tell me, like, who's the players here? Like, what's the plan? What's going on here? So he tells him eventually, and he's like, interesting. I'll think about it. I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm going to sleep on it. So, yeah, Adam, don't get your hands. Your hands are filthy right now with the whole Chelsea story. So you don't need anything further. Like, don't even bother. All right. Um, Let me briefly talk about how Sally and Chelsea. Sally keeps having these conversations with Chelsea, and she's all like concerned, but she really knows that there's something that has gone on, like that she's not saying, but she hasn't pinpointed it. I'm thinking, look to your man. His face will tell the tale. Like, he's telling it. So Sally gets an offer from Summer to basically be the head of Marchetti X, or I can't keep track of it, and that Chelsea would remain with Marchetti as the lead designer of that particular brand, but then that there would be the subsidiary Marchetti X or whatever for the fashion forward, the younger generation. And Sally is lapping that up like crazy. So we shall see where that's concerned. So that was just like a little side thing. Let's backtrack to Claire and the fact that she's been here, there, everywhere. I feel somewhat sorry for her. Where little Katie, she has a mouth on her. Where is the soap? Like, and all Victoria is doing, Katie, and Billy's like, Katie, that's not nice. What? I'd have been like, where's the soap? Because why are you talking like that? That's your sister. All right. Even Cole got the rough end of the stick. Wait, why is he always around? He's like, why didn't he just be with Claire? Like, whoa. And Johnny is like, you shut up. And you're embarrassing um, mom and dad, and you're embarrassing yourself. Shut up. What? Back in my day, I couldn't even say anything like of the sort. Like it would never have come out of my mouth. It doesn't come out now. It may be in my mind, but I don't audibly say it. Nope. No way, because I remember vividly that, not that I ever had soap in my mouth, but I remember like that's not anything that we could get away with. Not no, whether we were that age or older, no way, under no circumstances. What? Okay. Um, but Katie was flip flopping. One minute she was nice to Claire, the next minute she couldn't stand her, and now she wants to have some sort of relationship with her. So I can't keep track. I feel that she is totally bluffing, but we shall see. Okay, let me make mention of one particular thing. That would be Lucy, as it pertains to Faith. Now, here's my prediction. Okay, so at some point in time, Lucy came over to Sharon's place looking for Faith because she found some sort of bracelet at a vintage shop and she wanted to give it to Faith. Faith eventually came home and she said, "Here, I bought this for you, some vintage shop. The stone means XYZ, and I hope you like it." She's like, "Oh, you bought something for me?" She's like, "Oh, was that like totally weird?" And went, "No, no, no, no. Thank you very much. It actually goes with my outfit." She's like, "Yeah, it totally does." Here's my prediction. Because she is totally like all over Faith, because Faith is like some college girl, right? And she's, albeit a teenager, acting like she all grown. If you recall, there was an episode where she was talking about alcohol and the fact that Faith is like, "Yeah, no, I don't touch this stuff. Like, nope, never have. I'm not, no." And I feel as though we are going to relive Cassie. Now, I'm not saying that Lucy is going to die because of this, but I feel like it will be like a very similar thing, and Daniel would have waited way too late in order to tell Lucy that it was him back in the day when where Cassie had this big crush on him, and because he had all this alcohol he couldn't drive. Cassie ended up trying to drive, and that's what ended up happening. She ended up, it was a big crash and she died. So insert public service announcement again, the dangers of drinking and driving. Like I just feel like this is, we're going to go over this thing again. So stay tuned. This is my prediction. I feel this is going to happen. Whether Faith saves the day or Daniel gets involved somehow, whatever. Okay, scene filler is the fact that Heather hasn't found a job and she wants to go to Portugal to be with Paul because she's like, "I feel like my father's lonely." He's so lonely, he's not on the show. I hope he's getting some sort of royalty for using his name, using the name Paul. Like, I hope so. This is just me, because they did him dirty. In real life. But that's a whole other ball game. Don't come for me. I'm just calling it like I see it. Okay, who else? All right, so Lily. Man, I saw this one coming a mile away. So, as you know, they have split the whole merger between um, Winters, Hamilton Winters, and Chancellor. So Billy is now going to rename Chancellor Abbott Chancellor, and it will remain Hamilton Winters. So the whole plan that Lily had was to basically get Billy to agree to cut ties between the two companies and just manage Chancellor, and that she would then flip the script and go over to Hamilton Winters. Yeah, she totally backstabbed Devon, and now she has agreed to run Abbott Chancellor with Billy. Devon doesn't know this yet, but he's got a good inclination that this has occurred. So we know that there is going to be war between the two of them. Brother and sister war, like boom, boom, boom. So all I can say is, people, stay tuned, because get your popcorn ready. I feel this one is going to be a doozy. Just my opinion. Just saying. Okay. So let's see. I don't want to particularly forget. Connor apparently is doing better. He was in his little, where he was almost basically in like a solitary confinement type thing. He's turned a corner, and that was quick. Just saying. So I think my prediction will be they will eventually bust out. We're talking Adam and Chelsea will bust out that they dipsy doodled together and cheated on, their current boyfriend, girlfriend, if you will. And that they belong together, and for the good of Connor, that they need to work it out. Something along that lines. Yeah. And anyway you slice the pie, it won't last, because Chelsea and Adam have had quite the tumultuous relationship over the years. So, I don't know. And it might force Billy and Sally together, which, ew. No. But then again, this is soap opera land, so anything is possible. All right, so I think lastly, we're going to talk about Sharon. Once again, she is in some sort of la la land. She has been like staying at home, looking through scrapbooks of Cassie, seeing Cassie, crying, wondering what's going on with her medication. Even up to today, I was like, remember when she was a klepto? Wonder if they'll bring that back. She was just stealing anything. Yeah, so Mariah and Tessa and Nick had come over, and the place was in like, her place was like a holy terror of mess, with cups and takeout containers and papers strewn everywhere. And yeah, so Mariah's take is that she is like off because she's so lonely. Could be, but whatever they did to her medication, Who change it back because she just looks like a wreck. So they brought over some food, which really was meant for Tessa and Mariah only. And Sharon figures this out fairly quickly. And she's like, oh, so basically you bumped into Nick and you guys thought that you'd bring over your food and albeit save me from myself, and I'm good. And Sharon, you even know you're not good. So why are we doing this? I don't know where they're going with this whole Sharon thing. However, this needs to cut out with a quickness. And once again, Nick will probably be the one to save the day. I guess the scene fillers of the week was Jack and Victor, where Jack ends up at Victor's office, which where the dickens is the secretary? He has no secretary. You just waltz on in there. Once again, Jabot and Newman are very close, and insert Hamilton Winters is like in the middle. Like we're talking within steps of one another. And Jack is figured out that Victor must be the secret investor or silent investor. How it took them so long, I don't know. And yeah, he's like, I told you, my family's off limits. You want me? You come right directly at me. You leave my family out of it. So Victor's like, what are you gonna do? Throw another chair through the window? Whew. Remember when he did that? Oh. Even I'm like, oh, Jack, are you going to throw another chair out the window? Oh, insurance will pay for the glass. It's okay. That's vandalism. Oh, boy. Yeah, so this week has been like back and forth. I dare say it might have been purple blanket worthy, as in terms of, you know, the amount of pep or vigor was just, it was a day late, a dollar short. That's basically what it was. Well, hopefully next week will be much, much better, but we shall see. So, if I forgot to mention something, once again, it slipped my mind, or I just didn't bother mentioning it because to me, it just wasn't newsworthy. So if you stuck around to the end of this video, you know I appreciate your time. I love you lots. And again, I do apologize for not putting up a video last week. It was exhausting. Give yourself some grace and just keep on moving. And that's what I can say. All right. So once again, if you like this video, you like what you see, you like what you hear, hit the like and subscribe, share, share, share. Why? Because sharing is caring. At least I like to think so. And I will see you on the next video. Let's see what happens next week. And you take care. Enjoy.